that people have raised the issue of concern that we should try as much as possible to make our broadcast to be short so that those back home will be able to listen to it. So today, we are going to try as much as possible to stay just 1 hour plus during this broadcast. We are going to be exposing, not a full exposition, but we will give a background and a preamble to Bishop Onaga of Enugu State, his plan against Reverend Mbaka, and of course, against this Biafra struggle. The intel is very clear. We have received so many intelligent reports of which Reverend Mbaka may not be aware of. And because we have our way of passing this message, we have come today to send a straight message to Father Mbaka and at the same time to Bishop Onaga of Enugu State. Some of the things we are going to address today also include the sit-at-home, the civil disobedience, and the economic sanction in Biafra land, the impact and effect on releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Another thing, the third issue we are going to discuss today very briefly is how far Fulani has destroyed Nigeria, including everything that makes Nigeria what it is. How far they have gone in destroying every symbol of Nigeria. And some of you may think that they are ignorant and they don't have knowledge of what they are doing. But I have come to tell you this evening that everything the Fulani are doing, they are very much aware of the implications. They are very much aware of what it implies. They are well versed in what they are doing, and they know everything they are doing step by step. So those of you who think that it is out of ignorance that the presidency demonstrated what he did during the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, you are just being ignorant without knowing the country and those that rule you. These are the three issues we'll discuss today. And because we have come to begin to minimize the time we spend on broadcast for people to always follow before the new dimension comes in, we will try to make this broadcast as very short as possible. Welcome today. I remain Simon Ekpa Njoko, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu disciple on Biafra restoration. And this is going to be the first State of the Nation broadcast, the State of the Nation of Biafra broadcast. You see, what we do here is evidence-based exposition and broadcast. We don't just come here to tell you stories. We don't just come here to tell you stories. So those of you watching from Facebook, I ask you and join you to switch over to enter Biafra platform. We know that most of the media team are, either hooked to this broadcast or they are going to hook to our broadcast later on, because some of them are live and they are broadcasting live now. So on this note, I ask you, as you watch from Facebook, switch over to our own platform. Thank you very much. And then after the switch over, we are going to now refresh this particular platform. Welcome to the program again. You're welcome back. Let me make it very clear today that after the update and the post we made in preparation for this particular exposition this evening, we have received a lot of calls, a lot of messages from concerned Biafrans all over the world, especially when Bishop Onaga was mentioned. I have received personally different messages from different kind of people, dignitaries, and lovers of freedom of Biafra. And because of those messages and the calls, if the app is, if the live stream is not showing on Enter Biafra app, yes, you may be correct. It will show on later on, because you know the app is not 100% complete yet. So it will show up later on. If it is not showing now, you can watch from the Enter Biafra channel 1. Go to the Enter Biafra channel 1. The app is still being updated, and a lot is going to be fixed. And before then, when the app is going to be 100% ready, I'm going to announce it. So if you are not seeing it on that app, you go to Enter Biafra channel 1 and watch it there. So I have received a lot of messages and calls, like I said, concerning Bishop Onaga. And I assure the people that have contacted me that what I have come to do this evening is not just ordinary exposition. It is going to be a warning to Onaga and his group, because we have received intelligence report that even Mbaka may not be aware of. We have received this intelligence report, and there is need to address it publicly, because the enemies that are planning this thing against our own person and that go against our own people, they are listening and watching our program. So those of you who are afraid of, after reading the post I made, how I was about to expose him this evening, I am going to make some, at least little, just little exposition to address Onaga, Bishop Onaga. And like I said, the same thing we do, the same way we expose the Nigerian government atrocities against our people, will be the same way we will continue to expose the evil people in our land. I want to say this evening that we have received intelligence report the activities of the Bishop of Enugu State in the name of Bishop Onaga. The people that Bishop, some of the security agents that the Bishop is working with through the Nigerian government, they are doing everything to assassinate Father Mbaka. And the case, Bishop Onaga, the only reason why I will put my knife to him this evening is to give one more chance. One more chance. We have the information of some people collected or collecting 150 million. 150 million naira paid to each. If you know you are part of those who collected this money, you have become the enemy of Biafra. If you collected 150 million from federal government in whatever name, and you are a bishop in Enugu State and in Biafra land, let me tell you, the money, that 150 million naira, is not to help you. That 150 million is not to help your church. That 150 million is not for you to use to build schools. That 150 million is actually for you to betray Biafra people and to also contribute in bringing Reverend Father Mbaka down. Mbaka don't have knowledge of this. And I hope that people who are close to him will make him watch this video. Now, let me make some shocking revelation today for those who do not understand what is going on. I want to make this particular revelation for a very short time since the ordeal of Reverend Father Mbaka started. If you remember the day that the people of Adoration Ministry went to start protesting in Enugu State as they looked for Mbaka, they didn't find him. Do you know that on that day, a private jet was waiting at the airport to whisk Mbaka away to Abuja, where they are going to, where they were to interrogate him, humiliate him, and probably inject him with something. And it took the intervention of Biafrans in Enugu State to rescue Mbaka from the hand of the Bishop Onaga. Don't ask me how did we know this, because what you don't know is bigger than you. That day, a private jet was parking, waiting for Mbaka, and Bishop Onaga was aware of the fact that a private jet was waiting for Mbaka at the airport. Let me also make it very clear that when Mbaka was invited, because of the sensitivity of the proposed arrests of Mbaka, it was Bishop Onaga that were used to invite Mbaka. I do not need to go further to explain to you that the people of the Adoration Ministry and of course Biafrans in Enugu State besieged the residence of that Bishop Onaga, in case some people may have forgotten. They besieged the house and the residence of that Bishop Onaga, and a lot of things were destroyed. During this time, the people don't know what was going on. But I tell you, it was as a result of the resoluteness, bravery of the people of Enugu State that saved Father Mbaka. And let me tell you today, do not relent. Do not think that they have stopped and they are not going to come from Mbaka again. They are going to come from Mbaka. But what I am asking this evening from Bishop Onaga is to remove his hand before it is too late. You have collected 150 million. If the money was given to you to support you or support your ministry, you collect it and stay away. If the money was given to you so that you will continue to sabotage and betray Biafra struggle, including making sure that Mbaka do not speak again, return that money, because the money will destroy you. Tell Bishop Onagan that the money that was given to him will destroy him. If it was actually for him to continue to betray Biafra struggle. So those of you who contacted me today, and I promise you that all I wanted to do now is to chip in something, because I have promised Biafrans that I'm going to do this exposition. So it is going to be warning to him to stay clear for Biafra. And let me also warn Onaga, Bishop Onaga, for the very first time, that the way he is preaching to his congregation not to sit at home, it will be very disastrous. If anybody and if anything happened to any member of his church, he must be held completely responsible for it. Bishop Onaga should tell us his interest in Nigeria to the extent that he has made sit at home as a preaching subject to his congregation, convincing and telling people not to sit at home. In the next coming Sunday, in the next coming Monday, Biafra will continue to observe a complete lockdown as civil disobedience for Biafra referendum, as civil disobedience for demand of the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the entire Biafra people that are now political prisoners in different cells and facilities all over Nigeria. So my message this evening to Bishop Onaga is one, to refrain from preaching to his congregation against the civil disobedience in Biafra land. Two, to stay away from anything that has to do with conniving with the DSS and the Nigeria state against Father Mbaka. Three, if the 150 million naira given to them is to sabotage Biafra struggle, they should return that money. But if the money was given to them for them to continue to develop their churches or build boreholes in Biafra land, they should continue to use that money to do that which they collected the money for. But if the money is to betray Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, they should return that money, because we will make them to vomit every penny they have collected to betray Biafra struggle. I will stop it here. And those of you who called me today and sent messages about Onaga, you better now, it is now, the ball is in your court. These three demands we have made today, you have to now do your part. Make sure he listens to this video and watch it, because you may not even go and talk to him. You may not even have access to him. I don't know. But if you know you have contacted me today and begged for Onaga on behalf of Onaga, make sure the video gets to him. Thank you very much. The second issue I have to discuss today on the first nation, the nation broadcast today, is the importance of the sit at home. I want everybody to watch this. It is all about how important the civil disobedience in Biafra land. We must take it very seriously, for our leader to be released. I want you all to watch this.
And the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, in the latest legal twist. His counsel, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, said Kanu has never denied being the leader of IPOB. Ejiofor explained that the clarification became necessary because of what is described as deliberate misrepresentation and wrong narratives being perpetrated by some mischief maker. What is this about?
Well, I'm sure the social media, you may have seen some stories mocking Kanu that he said he does not belong to Ipob. You know, we are unable to attend the trial. So if one of the lawyers come out to say this is what transpired during the trial, people will then accept it as the gospel truth, because you have no access. You know, you have no access to cover. Even journalists too, they will tell them to stay outside and all that. You know, so it is when the lawyers come out that they will now tell you what transpired, what are they doing next, and all that. So the guy is saying that he denied that IPOB was a terrorist group. Of course, he's going to deny that Ipob was a terrorist group, of course he's going to tell the court that he was never involved in terrorist activity. You understand? But that is different from saying I don't belong to Ipob. You can't be leader of Ipob and say you don't belong to Ipob. That is the point that the lawyer is making, that no, he never said he does not belong to Ipob. He is saying that that Ipob is not a terrorist organization. He denies that Ipob is a terrorist organization. So denying that Ipob is a terrorist organization is different from denying that he belongs to Ipob. That is what Ejiofor is saying. Because, and they are...
That is exactly it. And let me also make it very clear for people who do not understand what is going on. I want to make this clarification, and again, additional clarification this way. The IPOB, the proscription of IPOB was between 2016 2017. Now, for those of you who do not understand what transpired in Abia Court and what the DOS are doing, collaborating with the Nigeria state, how can you be celebrating? Even I have made it very clear the reason why we must not celebrate the outcome of Abia State, even though it was a victory. I have been able to tell you to separate the action and the professionalism displayed by Aloy Ejimako and the verdict itself. Separate the two. We must acknowledge Aloy Ejimako for the job well done, but we don't need to acknowledge the verdict of that court. Now, you cannot be given sentence in a case, the invasion of our leader's home, killing of people in his home, and at the same time, the invasion of our leader's home and the killing of people in his home, the same time it took place was the same time the proscription of IPOB happened. Nigeria government have refused to come to court with indigenous people of Biafra to defend the proscription of Ipob. And you are charging the leader of Ipob, Nnamdi Kanu, and the leader of Biafra for being a member of a proscribed group, while you have not come to present and represent yourself and defend the proscription of Ipob. The proscription of Ipob is not final. It is not final. When the case, the appeal is still in court since 2017 till date, the Nigeria government refused to come to court to defend the proscription of indigenous people of Biafra as terrorist organization. And here, in 2022, you are charging our leader as a member of a proscribed group. The proscription you have vehemently refused to defend in your own court, in Nigeria. Does that make sense? That is why I am telling you, Biafrans. You see, some of us joined this Biafra struggle for no other reason other than to make history in good faith. And the history we are going to continue to make. The reason why I am not happy with the verdict of Abia State is because of the injustice displayed in that verdict. Some of you, when you hear the proscription, when you hear the pronouncement of the judge that our leader did not jump bail, every Tom and Jerry knows that our leader did not jump bail. But we have more pressing issues. We have more pressing, more fundamental pressing issues to handle. And the so-called DOS is not talking about it. They can't talk about it because they're already compromised. That is why entire Biafra must stop listening to them, taking order from them. Because these people have compromised completely. You can never hear them on Radio Biafra, except from now that I'm talking about it. You can never hear them on Radio Biafra discussing the proscription of indigenous people of Biafra and the reason why they must not bring it under any lawsuit or under any charges or under any indictment against our leader, because the case is not final. So how can you come and be charging our leader for being a member of a proscribed group, proscription that court have not decided, because the case is still in the appeal court of Nigeria? So you cannot come and have a half done something, and then you are already making case and building case and charging somebody against being a member of a proscribed group, where the case is still in court. You can't. It is not possible in law. The opportunity and possibility for that court, for that prescription to become law is void, because the appeal court have not decided. It will even go to Supreme Court, as the case may be. So how can you come now and be charging Nnamdi Kanu and for being member of a who proscribed Ipob? The Ipob proscription is not legal. It is not valid. That is my point here. If it is valid, the Nigerian government should go to court and defend the proscription of Ipob. That is why I am not happy with the outcome. Comparing to what happened to transpire to people, Sunday Igboho and the Abia State Court, it is injustice against our people. It is injustice against Mazi. The verdict of Abia State is injustice against our leader. Believe me. The only pronouncement is that he did not jump bail. We don't need court to know he didn't jump bail. We don't need court. We don't need court pronouncement to know he didn't. The only thing we need now is that we need to tell the Nigerian government, the prosecutor that is prosecuting our leader and saying you are a member of a proscribed group, we need to squash that particular argument, that particular indictment, that IPOB, according to Nigerian law, is not proscribed group until it undergo the prescription, undergo all legal remedies available. The IPOB have not utilized the legal remedies available to them. And it is as a result of the Nigeria state knowing well that you can't proscribe organization that is fighting for the independent state of Biafra or for self-determination. So how can you then proscribe IPOB? They appealed. Somebody say you lost it. Please, I want you to come here and tell us, because don't run away. Don't run away. You have to come here and tell us whether the prescription of IPOB that is not yet final can be used in another court. The Nigeria state, the Nigeria government has been avoiding going to court to defend that particular pronouncement by a judge. It is in Nigeria court. So how can you, I don't know whether you are referring to me, Mr. Chino, Chidinaka or so, or you are responding to somebody else. I don't know. But if you are responding to somebody else, then disregard what I'm saying. But if you are responding to me, saying that what I'm saying is that I lost it, please come here and tell us what exactly you mean. Do you understand, from the context of law, from the eye of law, when you have a verdict against individual, against group, that group is given opportunity to either disagree by appealing that particular verdict, and when you, as the person taking as the prosecuting officer, refuse to come to defend the verdict against that particular group or against that particular person, that case can never be said to be legal, authentic. It is not final. It is not. You can't legalize it until the process goes through appeal, Supreme Court, and all legal remedies available are used. And then the final court will now give verdict that that district court prescription stand. Then it becomes final. But for now, one court cannot prescribe IPOB. and you give IPOB the opportunity to appeal. And they appealed against the prescription. And you refuse to come to defend the prescription of IPOB. And today, it is part of the indictment against our leader. In the same Nigeria court. It doesn't happen. It is not possible. So, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that those people that are jubilating, those people that are shouting on Radio Biafra, that this and that, you have lost it. What you should do now is to channel, all of us should channel our energy in hitting the Nigerian government to come to court and defend the prescription of
wonderful
IPU.
People, thank you so much for watching this video together with me. I appreciate your massive support in this channel. Before, if it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are welcome. Now that we have finished watching this video together, you saw me sitting there watching it together with you. I appreciate you. Let's go to the comment section to talk about it. If it is your first time, subscribe, put on your notification bell. That notification bell is very, very important because